Welcome to today's lesson on the life cycle of a virus. In this session, we will explore how viruses replicate and spread by looking at both the lysogenic and lytic pathways. In our lesson today, we will specifically focus on describing the stages of the viral life cycle. We'll differentiate between the lysogenic pathway, where the virus remains dormant within the host cell's DNA, and the lytic pathway, where the virus actively replicates and destroys the host cell. So far, you've learned that viruses are examples of pathogens, which are microorganisms that cause disease. Today, we will go into more detail by exploring the mechanisms that viruses use to replicate. Understanding the life cycle of viruses is a crucial step in advancing our biological knowledge, because it explains how viruses reproduce and spread within the host, as well as how they infect new hosts. This insight is essential for developing effective treatments and preventative measures against viral infections. To understand viral diseases better, it's essential to cover the life cycle of a virus. Viruses are unique in that they are not considered living organisms. This is because they cannot carry out the essential life processes independently. Instead, viruses require a host cell to reproduce. Let's delve into the structure of a virus, and then we'll explore the two main pathways through which viruses reproduce. All viruses share some basic characteristics. For example, they are much smaller than bacteria. Furthermore, viruses can only replicate inside a living host cell. Different viruses can infect any type of living organism, from bacteria to plants and animals. Viruses are comprised of a protein coat, known as a capsid, and contain one type of nucleic acid, either DNA or RNA. They do not have a cell membrane or regular organelles, like cells do. Viruses reproduce by infecting a host cell. This can occur via two distinct pathways. These are termed the lytic pathway and the lysogenic pathway. Here is a step-by-step explanation of how the lytic pathway operates. First, the virus attaches to a specific receptor on the surface of the host cell. It then injects its genetic material into the cytoplasm of the cell. Inside the host cell, the viral genetic material takes over the host's cellular machinery. It uses the host cell's enzymes and ribosomes to replicate its own DNA, or RNA, and produce viral proteins. These newly produced viral components are assembled into new viral particles. Finally, the host cell bursts open, which is also known as lysis. This releases the new viral particles into the surrounding environment. These new viruses can now infect other cells. To summarize the lytic pathway, the virus rapidly replicates and destroys the host cell, which leads to an infection. The lysogenic pathway follows a different process. Similar to the lytic pathway, the virus attaches to the host cell and injects its genetic material. Instead of immediately taking over the host cell's machinery, the viral DNA becomes integrated into the host cell's DNA. Each time the host cell replicates its own DNA during cell division, the viral DNA is also replicated. During this phase, the virus remains dormant and does not produce new viral particles. Certain environmental factors, such as UV light or chemical triggers, can activate the viral DNA, causing it to enter the lytic pathway. Once this happens, the virus starts replicating, leading to the destruction of the host cell and the production of new virus particles. In the lysogenic pathway, the virus remains dormant within the host cell's DNA, resulting in a latent infection. Under specific conditions, the viral DNA can be activated to enter the lytic pathway. Grasping the differences between the lytic and lysogenic pathways is crucial for several reasons. First is immediate versus latent infections. The lytic pathway leads to immediate symptoms due to cell destruction, while the lysogenic pathway may result in long-term latent infections. Next is treatment strategies. Knowing which pathway a virus follows can affect treatment strategies. For example, antiviral drugs may target specific replication steps in the lytic pathway. Lastly is disease prevention. Detecting viruses during their lysogenic phase is challenging but vital for preventing outbreaks. To summarize, both the lytic and lysogenic pathways enable viruses to reproduce, but through different mechanisms. The lytic pathway results in the immediate production of virus particles and destruction of the host cell, whereas the lysogenic pathway allows the virus to lie dormant within the host's DNA until it is activated. Understanding these pathways gives us valuable insights into viral behavior and is crucial for developing effective treatments and preventative measures against viral infections. Through this lesson, you have equipped yourself with fundamental knowledge that lays the groundwork for understanding viral diseases, as well as their impacts on health.
Watch the rest of the GCSE biology course at Sophos Education.